Hello and welcome to North Star Stamper. I'm Susan Kramer. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Woodbury, Minnesota. There's all my information so you can find me where you are. Let's see if I can find my video on my computer. All right, I have to turn off the captions, otherwise I look to see what it thinks I'm saying. Oh, that's kind of interesting, but okay. So we're talking kits. As I said in last Friday's video, we are going to talk about the kits collection, and they come in Stampin' Up! Boxes, very reusable. I use these for storing projects for each as I'm working on them. So this is a kit. It comes with everything you need. This is not a stamping kit. If it were, it would include a stamp set, a block, and an ink pad. We'll talk about that in just a minute. So this is a non-stamping kit. Sorry, this one is no longer available, but I wanted to show you it as an, just to show you what a kit looks like when you receive it. If you remember a while ago, or maybe probably a year ago, I added color to the die cut pieces. Oh, sorry for the glare. There's a leaf here, flower. Oh, I guess just the two. So I added some color to the die cuts in this kit. So I'll try to link that in the description of this video. So that might be kind of interesting. In hindsight, I didn't like some of the cards I created in that video. In hindsight, I would have just added color behind the die cuts. But you do what you want to do. Lots of ideas. Again, I mentioned last week, just because paper has a certain look doesn't mean it has to stay that way. Just because a kit has some ideas doesn't mean it needs to stay that way or that you need to create it that way. So I have a whole bunch of kits to share with you today. Some of them are not available when I recorded this. So this one is the Painted Skies. So you get all these cards. It was so fun to put together. I made them exactly as suggested in the directions. And it's a trifold or bifold with tri-panels, I guess. And that die cut, I mean, they're die cut. All you have to do is assemble. You get the adhesives. I should mention that. You get all the adhesives. You get instructions, picture instructions. They're not written instructions. They tell you where to put the adhesives if there's glue dots or in this case, you get the foam strips to layer that. All the adhesives, whatever you needed. The embellishments, everything. These cards have, I wish you could feel, wish we had feel-o-vision, right? It's textured almost like watercolor paper. I love these cards so much, I made them all as you are supposed to. Again, these are the Painted Skies. When I'm making this video, they're unavailable, and the kit is supposed to be back on July 6th. If you don't like the sentiments, leave these sentiments off, put them on a different card, and stamp, die cut, computer print, and die cut, whatever. It doesn't mean you have to use the sentiments they give you in the kit. So that was the Painted Skies kit. I like the layer. So I always talk about things I can learn from kits. So this one, I love the die cut. So they die cut holes or the little oval things, and there's texture around there. This is the same paper as that last one. I didn't even notice that. This one is called Lots to Love, and again, it's a no stamping kit. It has the same idea with the adhesive strips between them. I don't know if you probably can't see, but lots of dimension there. I'll put it at an angle. Oh, I'll show you the rest of the card. Sorry. So again, I like these cards so much, I didn't alter them, but we can always learn things from kits too. So even if you're not going to buy kits, check out the kits collection just for inspiration. I like the hole they created here, and then that piece I had to punch out, so I have that piece somewhere in my stash that I can use on another card, but just the way they created the window opening. Again, if I didn't like the sentiments they included in these, I could have changed that out. Black sentiment would have been nice, or whatever. Die cut, stamped, computer generated, whatever. Lots of details in these. I love these cards, so I just made them all as suggested. Lots of cards. Okay, and the last kit So those were both non-stamping kits that I shared. So in a stamping kit, you'll get a small stamp set like this. This is not the one that coordinates with this. I couldn't find the coordinating one. But if it's a stamping kit, you're going to get a block just like this. We used to call them paper pumpkin blocks. It's just a narrower, I'll show you, it's the same size as our D block, but it's narrower. I find these hard to hold onto, so I almost never use these unless it's the only thing I have. And I'll take this with me if I'm going to use a kit. Oh, there are my notes. Kits make great gifts. If you know somebody who is a crafter and would enjoy spending time making cards, they make great gifts. Where'd my notes go? I take them when I go on vacation because they're all inclusive. You might need scissors to create kits, but sometimes not. If there's ribbon, you might have to cut some ribbon. Otherwise, you don't need anything. I also like to use my Take Your Pick tool. Okay, so I guess I had lots of tips. So I like a bigger block. I do like bigger ink pads. I'm not comfortable using these small ones. I don't have arthritis, but I find them hard to hold on to. I know people that only use, these are called ink spots. I know people that only stamp with these. They don't own any full-size pads. So it's very much a personal preference. What else was I going to say about these? You can buy re-inkers and just use these. I thought I had something else to say. Anyway, Take Your Pick tool. I use this when I create kits. All these embellishments, they come on, well, you know what they come on, an acetate sheet, and I use these to pick them up. So these two were made as suggested in the kit. These, I didn't like the Happily Ever After. That's not a sentiment I would use. So I wanted to show you one card I made as is. And then when I was creating these, I happened to have a stamp set that had a nice big hello and love you lots. So it's the same card with just a different sentiment. Just because they suggested you make that a Happily Ever After congratulations card doesn't mean you have to when you create your kit. Okay, so I mentioned vacation. I mentioned gifts. New crafters, you want to introduce somebody to paper crafting. Kits is a great way to go. They're very economical. If you're limited on space, when you are done with a kit, you have a box that's great for storage, or recycle it if you don't need it. It'll store cards, obviously. Then you can give it as a gift. If it's a non-stamping kit, that's what you'll end up with, cards in a box. If it's a stamping kit, or has other products in it, I have to be careful what I say these days, this is all you'll end up with. So if you're limited on space, that's not much to store. Actually, a few kit remnants will fit in a box too. Lots and lots of ideas. So I used to think or say, non-stamping kits, you get the project in the box. We now, as of this month actually, there is a kit. It's a non-stamping kit, but it comes, and I can't remember the name of it. You have to go to the kits collection to see what it is. So the kit came with 2 ink blots, ink spots, and 2 sponge daubers, and you got to do some inking techniques on that kit. So lots of options there. You know what? I'm going to leave this here just because it's so pretty to look at while I finish my notes. And if you're limited on time, the kits are very quick to put together. All these leaves were, the back layer was already not stamped but printed. All I had to do was punch out these what were die cuts and add adhesive. So here you are punching out, adding adhesive, putting together. I think they used to say a paper pumpkin kit you could put together in half an hour. Sometimes it takes me longer to understand what they're doing on some of our kits. So within an hour, you could finish a kit very easily. Unless it's a big one. I think there's a haunted house kit that's still available. That probably would take you a little longer to put together. But anyway, so that's our kits. So if you're limited with time, space, money, they're very economical if you want to learn how to paper craft or just learn different techniques and different ways to layer, and I learn a lot from kits. And I'm inspired to use the ideas and other things I do. So thank you for joining me. Happy stamping. Have a great week. Bye.